In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 more shocking stories that will make you realize just how crucial it is to take your online security very seriously. Whether you think you're immune to such scams or not, these are true stories, and we've come across many clients, including professional clients, and I mean barristers, who have fallen for various different scams, which just demonstrates to you just how essential it is to take care of your security online. And make sure you stick around till the end of the video, because I'll be sharing some information with you about my partner Nord Security's new threat protection software, which is a powerful tool that helps you prevent scams like the ones that I'm discussing with you today. But first of all, if you're new to me or my channel, I'm a barrister of England and Wales, and I love to help you to understand law. So if at any point you find this video useful or interesting, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe. I really appreciate it. So now let's dive into our first story. The first story involves an elderly lady who we're going to call Sarah, not her real name, of course, who was duped into paying bail for her son. Quite literally duped into bailing him out for quite a significant amount of money. And it wasn't the first time that she'd had to do this either. She was accustomed to giving him or lending him money any time that he got into some kind of trouble. So one day she received an SMS that said, "Your son's been arrested due to his illegal actions. He provided us with your details as a contact as a person that can help him out with his bail. Follow the following link and pay the bail for your son, and he'll be released from the police station." Now obviously most people watching this would think that you'll never fall for that, because you just wouldn't buy into it. Quite literally, you wouldn't buy into it. But with AI and various other things getting so advanced these days, I've seen videos just recently where not only was the style of writing copied, but the phone numbers were spoofed, and even the person's voice was mimicked using AI. But Sarah, of course, didn't know anything about any of this, and she just clicked the link and made payment. Completely unaware, of course, that her money was going to the scammers, and then she would have had a long-winded battle with the banks to try and get this money back. Only before that happened, she started seeing lots more money being taken from her card, and only then she realised that she might have been the victim of a fraud. But this was not before many thousands of pounds left her account, and she would take many months to get this resolved. Now, many of you still might think that you wouldn't have actually sent the money, even if you genuinely thought that it was real in the first place. But many of these scams are so convincing that they even convince you to send over the one-time passcode in the belief that it's still linked to your actual relative that you need to help out. So many people do fall for this, so please take this warning and take this true story very seriously. The next story involves a business owner who was frequently getting emails from his bank and all sorts of other people. He was obviously very busy. Let's call him Mark. Mark received an email from his bank, or did he? It appeared to be from his bank. It appeared quite legitimate. It had the bank's logo, official-looking links. In fact, some of the links were even the correct links going to the correct websites for their terms and conditions and things like that. So on a cursory glance, some people might think that this was a genuine email. Unsurprisingly, this email instructed Mark to log into his account through a link provided in the email and update his password to, ironically, immediately update and secure his account. Obviously, by virtue of the fact that I'm telling you this story, Mark obviously did click the link. He went through, updated his password, or so he thought. After the link took him to a website that looked identical to the bank's website, it was a mere copy. He put in his login details, logged into what he believed to be his account, only then it showed him a screen to update his password, or so he thought. And he didn't even realise that he'd just given all of his information to these scammers and cyber criminals, who they'd just created this fake website to look like the real bank's website and steal his information. Within just a matter of hours of Mark thinking that he'd updated his security details, his account was drained of most of its money, leaving his business in financial turmoil. Now, just as a brief interlude, allow me to talk to you about my partner for this video, Nord Security's threat protection. These stories, along with our own personal experience, just go to highlight the alarming reality of online scams and malware and malicious attempts to take control of your devices and steal your information. But as I mentioned earlier, there is a solution to help to prevent you from falling victim to these scams with my partner to this video, Nord Security, and their new threat protection. You can think of threat protection as a scam prevention solution. that helps you to prevent these attacks like the ones that I've mentioned in the stories just now. And it does this by actively blocking dangerous websites, preventing you from unknowingly entering your information into those websites in the first place. Threat protection will identify and block access to such phishing websites, as they're known, like the one Mark encountered, that are set up and designed to steal your information. Threat protection will also scan your emails and your downloaded files and bring to your attention any potentially malicious content or software before it has access to your system. Another powerful feature of threat protection is to prevent that which frustrates many people, such as when you're trying to browse a news article and it's full of adverts. Threat protection's ad blocking capabilities will prevent the page from being cluttered up by such adverts. And believe it or not, some of these adverts themselves can be that which contains malicious software and scripts, which these fraudsters use to disseminate their software to attempt to steal your information and gain access to your system. But again, Nord Security's threat protection not only blocks these adverts from being annoying, but also eliminates the risk of you falling victim to these malicious software scripts, which are referred to as malvertisements. So with threat protection, you'll be safeguarded from downloading harmful files by scanning each file that you download and scanning for malicious scripts. If there is anything suspicious detected, it will simply block the download of the file and keep you safe. And finally, with just one subscription, you can install to up to 6 devices, whether that be an Android, iOS, Windows, or Mac, all at the same time to protect you for all of these features. So if you want to protect yourself from falling for these scams like Sarah, Mark, and Alex in our stories, why not invest in Nord Security's threat protection software and don't let the cyber criminals take your money. As always with any partner, I use these myself and I would never recommend anything that I wouldn't use myself. And again, I've secured an exclusive deal for you. If you use the link in the description below, you'll receive a significant discount. The third story involves the real dangers of downloading files. Now, we're all sent files by emails or links to download files from a third-party source, whether they're in Word format or PDF, JPEGs, you name it. These sort of files are sent to you fairly frequently. But what's more concerning is when files are sent to you from a seemingly trustworthy source. Now, this is a common trait among most of these threads because there's some element of trust, because these scammers and fraudsters try to gain your trust in one way or another. Much like the artificial intelligently recreated voiceovers or voicemails that mimic your loved ones or friends very closely to make you think that this really is them crying out for help. So in this story, we'll call him Alex. He was a freelance graphics designer. He received an email from what he believed to be a potential client asking to review the attached documents to provide some sort of quote. Without thinking about it, Alex downloaded the files and had inadvertently downloaded a malicious script. But worse still, Alex wasn't aware that he downloaded such a file because when he tried to open it, it just gave him an error saying that the file was corrupt, but in fact the malicious script was running in the background. This was a rather sophisticated script that allowed the hackers access to sensitive files, personal information, and even tracked bank login details. And don't be fooled into thinking that some systems are safer than others. They are all susceptible to one degree or another to these malicious scripts. Just a few weeks ago, my son came to me asking me why the browser was redirecting him to different websites, only to find that one of the games that he'd downloaded had directed him to some browser hijacking device, and so we had to refresh the machine because we simply couldn't get rid of it. So as I said before, please take your online security very seriously. These online threats are very genuine, they are very serious, and people lose millions upon millions every single year to cyber fraud. So please do take advantage of the discount that I've secured for you for threat protection using the link in the description below. Thank you for watching this video and allowing me to support my partner. Please remember to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.